Okay, hey guys, Paul from BabelTEQ again. And so this is the third and probably the final video in the series where I do a complete walkthrough of setting up your site. So if you recall, in the first video, I showed you how to set up the email marketing lead capture form. So you offer some kind of a downloadable resource. People submit their email account, and that gets added to your MailChimp list or whatever email marketing program you're using. And so for a lot of people, that's probably all they might need. You know, for example, if you've got a Facebook page that's doing well for you at the moment, okay, maybe that's enough. In the second video, I walked you through how to set up a calendar, a booking form. So, and I suspect this is perhaps what most of you will want, at least, which is an online booking and payment form where after you've got customers in your sales funnel, then you can send them to this page and get them to book a trial lesson with you. So that was in the second video that we did. So in the third video today, I'm going to show you what you can do once you have those students, those customers who have taken trial lessons with you. I think ideally what you would like to do is push them now to a course sales page where you can sell them a course, like a block of lessons, 10 lessons or 20 lessons or whatever. Now, of course, you could just continue on selling individual lessons one at a time, or a few at a time. But I think that can be problematic if you're trying to run a sustainable business. It's much better if you can get people into committing for a certain number of lessons with you, and then you can plan out a curriculum as well. That's another benefit. So let's go take a look at my screen. Okay, so you remember last week or last video, we did this. We set up a booking calendar to book a trial lesson, and so on. So what we want to do today is continue on with this page, start a course. Okay, so you can see that I'm logged in at the moment. So to start with, what I would like to do is maybe change this heading. So let's activate the page builder. Instead of "Do you need English for work?" let's say "Do you need English for accounting?" because that's my target niche. Okay, and I'm selling a 10-week online lesson program, 50-minute private lessons, progress reports included. Okay. So this video, let's copy the URL from YouTube, from the introduction video that I made previously. Now it's okay to use an introduction video like this, and it's what I'm going to use right now for our purposes. But I think that ideally what I should do is create like a dedicated video which introduces the course, because as I mentioned, like according to my sales funnel, I want to get people to take a trial lesson and then encourage them to book a course, push them over to this course booking page. So they already know me because they've had a trial lesson with me. So there's probably no need to give them another introduction video, self-introduction video. So maybe a video that actually talks about the course in more detail would be more beneficial on this page. So I don't have that yet, but that's what I think would be best on here. So start an English program to improve your career. Yep, that's fine. I think that's fine. I want to change some of these, and I want to change some of these curriculum points. So I made a list here just before. So introducing yourself, opening, closing presentation, introducing, opening, closing. Yep. Yeah, I think 4 was asking for information from a client. So that's probably something that accountants need to do. So let's change that. Okay, that's week 4. Okay. And what was next? 5, managing a meeting. Save that. And what was 6? Describing your work background. And 7 was describing your office. It was making small talk. And save that. And 9 was welcoming a business guest. And 10 was taking and leaving telephone messages. Okay, that was already there. Okay, so let's save that, and let's save that list. Okay. All right. So what else do we need to change here? So you'll see I'm using the credit card payment form on here. So this is the form which accepts payments through Stripe. Now, you'll need to have a Stripe account, of course, for this, and I'm not going to go through the details in this video because I think it'll take too long, but I did create a separate training video on how to get your Stripe API keys. There are two keys. The keys are just like a string of letters and numbers. So when you create your account, you'll be able to get test API keys, and also you'll be able to get live API keys. So at the moment, I'm using the test API keys on this so I can test my payment flow and make sure it works the way I want it to. Now, let's go down a little bit. Now, frequently asked questions. What kind of progress reports do you provide? You get a simple PDF report each week which explains what you did well in my class. Yep, that's fine. I'm going to do that. What kind of system do you use? We use Zoom online video communication. Yes. And do you assign homework? Yes, you will have regular homework exercises. Yes, so no need to change any of that. Now, let's change this, of course, because it's not Teacher Jack anymore. It's me. And let's change that photo. Let's find my photo, which I uploaded previously, which I took on an iPhone, by the way, and is probably a long way short of professional class. And I recommend that if you've got a small budget, if you can spare the money, get a professional photographer to take your photos. It's worth every penny. Yeah, start a program today. Learn how to use business English with confidence in just 10 weeks. Okay, I'm fine with all that. So why don't we publish that? I'm just going to refresh the page just because it's a good practice. Yeah, so if we take a look at our page now. By the way, if you want to change the background image on any of these, I'll show you how to do that now. If I click on the page editor again, I'm happy enough with this background, but if I wanted to change it for something else, you'll see here that as I mouse over this row, I get the outline, and there are these icons up here. So if I click on the little wrench where it says row settings, and if I come down, the background, it's set as it's set as slideshow, but there's only one slide there, and that's probably a good thing. I think a lot of people in the web design community now are sort of turning away from this presentation of multiple slides because for one thing, it just adds extra weight to your page, which means it takes longer to load. Another is that a lot of people don't even look at all those, don't even look at like the second and third and fourth slide. So I think it's much better just to have like one background image. And you can use some subtle animation like we're using here. So this one is using something called a Ken Burns transition that just describes that kind of effect where the image, maybe zooms in a little bit or zooms out a little bit. So it just gives it a little bit of dynamism without going overboard. And you can see I'm using a blue overlay color here. If I click on that, this slider here, it's at 50%, which means it's 50% opacity. It just kind of gives like a light blue overlay to the page. And the reason for doing that is because it helps with the contrast of your text on the page. For example, here, do you need English for accounting? Now, if I had that on a white background, for example, or something with very light background, or something with many colors in it, that might be hard to distinguish. Might be hard for people to visually read that. So that's why a lot of people use these color overlays at like a 50% opacity. Just a little tip. Yeah, and so I'm using this Ken Burns effect. I've got one photo selected here. If I click on Edit Gallery, you can see this is this one image that we're using. So if I wanted to, delete that and add a different one from the media gallery, I can do that. But I'm not going to do that. All right. Yeah. So what are we going to do next? Oh, yes. Yes, these testimonials. Yes, so we need to update this. So let me just save this. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. So if you remember in the last video, I went through and I added testimonials on our book a lesson page. Or are they down here? Yep. So rather than go through the process of copying and pasting all this again, I'm going to show you a little trick, and that is if I scroll down to here, and if I click on our testimonials, and you'll notice the two buttons here. One is Save and one is Save As. So instead of the usual button of Save, I'm going to save this as a saved module. So I'm going to call this, well, let's call it my let's call it AgoBiz Testimonials. AgoBiz is the name of this site, by the way. Yep, and global is no. So you probably don't need to set that global. So I'll just leave that no for now. Let's save that. Okay, and done. And I didn't actually make any changes to this page. So I think we can discard that. I saved it, but I didn't make any changes to the page itself, if you know what I mean. So let's go to the this page here again, start a course. And let's see, let's activate the page editor. And what I might do is, just to be on the safe side, is save this as our default testimonials. Okay, now what I can do is, if I come over to the plus sign here, and if you see the option where it says saved, if I click on that, you can see here it's got saved modules. So I've got my AgoBiz testimonials and the default testimonials. So what I'll do is I'll drag out the AgoBiz testimonials, and I should be able to just save that, and I can get rid of that. Delete this module. Yep. Okay, and so that saves me a bit of retyping, and I probably want to put some space above that, because that looks a bit cramped there. So let's look in modules, and let's do a search for spacer. So let's drag that out and just put that in there. Let's give it, I don't know, 50 pixels. Okay, yep, that just pushes it down a bit. That's fine. All right, so let's hit done and publish. So you can see how fast that was, how easy that was to save a module, save some work that you've previously done as a module, and then retrieve it somewhere else on the site as a saved module. So that's just a handy trick to remember. Let's see. All right, now this form here, the credit card payment form. So you have the option of swapping this out. If you don't want to use credit card, you can use, for example, send me an invoice. So if I choose that, so basically what this is saying is, rather than take a payment right now, you're asking them to book the course, and then you'll send them an invoice, like either from your Stripe dashboard or from Payoneer or some other third-party method that you might have. So that's one possibility. Another is to use PayPal, and I've already set up this with PayPal, with my PayPal API keys. So same as Stripe, PayPal has API keys for test and for live. And again, in that video I mentioned, I'll put a link to it in the description for this video. It's also it's part of the tutorial videos that are listed on the main BabelTEQ site. So you can get your, if you follow that video, you can get your PayPal API keys, and you'll also need to create what they call a sandbox account, which is like a fake dummy PayPal account, which you can then use to test your PayPal payment system. Yeah, and so I showed you the credit card payment form, the send me an invoice form, and the PayPal form. Now, it's possible to set up a form that combines these 3 payment methods into one. But it's not difficult, but there are a few steps involved. So what I think is, if you want that kind of form, then reach out to me, and I'll be happy to set that up for you. Same as if you're having any problems with connecting these forms with your API keys. Again, I think it's not difficult, but there's a lot of little steps involved in doing it. If you follow the tutorials step by step, because they are pretty detailed, then I think you can get those API keys yourself. But if it's proving to be a problem, again, reach out to me, because I don't mind helping out if it's too much. All right, so yeah, so this is how we swap the forms. Just make sure that you select the right one for your template, by the way, because I'm using the business template here. It's got a couple of other forms on here, like for kids, which I think they've been deleted now. So you may not see that on yours, but just make sure that you're selecting the ones that are marked as corresponding to your template. So if you've got a kids template, then the form would say book a lesson kids credit card, for example. If you're using an exam preparation template, it will say book a lesson program exam prep credit card, or whatever. Okay, so let's swap back to credit card. And save that. All right, now so I'm going to hit done. Now there is something else that we need to do. If I go to my pages, now the course booking page, yep. And we've got the course booking thank you page. So this is the page that they are redirected to after they submit a payment through this form. So let's take a look at that. There's a couple of minor things we need to change here. So so we've got a thank you notice here. It's always good best practice to have a thank you page that you send people to after they submit something, whether that's like an email sign up submission, or whether it's booking a trial lesson, or paying for a course like now. So anyway, let's get rid of Jack here, and I'll choose my photo again. Okay, and I think that's all okay. Now, one thing about this, but also, by the way, these social media icons, you'll probably need to connect these with whatever you have, like if you have a Facebook page or a Twitter account or an Instagram account. So you should connect these with those social media accounts. If you've got a WeChat QR code, you might want to upload that and use that here. I'm actually thinking about getting a Line QR code. Line is very big in Japan, so I might leave that for now. Although I did delete that from a couple of other pages, so I'll have to add that back in if I go that route. Anyway, yep. So I think we can save that now. Done and publish. Let's refresh it. So the concept with this course that I'm selling, well, in theory selling, the concept is that they pay for the 10-week program, the 10-week curriculum. When their payment goes through, they get redirected onto this page, the thank you page, and then they go through and they book the actual dates that they want to, and dates and times that they want to take their lessons. So that works, of course, if it's a one-to-one, like a program of one-to-one lessons. If you're selling something like a course, which could, well, when I say course, I mean if you're selling something like a group course, which could have a few members on it, let's say 3-4 members in the group, then you'll probably want to do yours a different way. And what I would do in that case is not have this calendar on here. If that was the case, I would actually remove that. If I click on the page editor. Right, you can see if I click on here, that would remove that that calendar. And what I would do instead is go through to the course sales page, and I would add a drop down field to this form, asking the student, like, when do you want to start the course? And I'm thinking in my own mind that if it's a 10-week course, like maybe you could start like a new program every month or something like that. So you give the student who pays like the option of choosing their start date from the drop down form. And just to show you how we can set that up, if I come into forms here, if I look under forms and edit credit card booking form. So what I could do, for example, is I could drag out a drop-down box into here, and I could say, okay, select your start date. And my first choice might be, I don't know, let's say 1st of January 2021. And second choice, maybe 1st of February 2021. And maybe third choice, 1st of March 2021. And I probably make that one the default choice. And then I could go required. So this field is required. This is something that they have to select. So let's update that. Okay. And if I go back to the front here and I refresh this page, okay, so you'll see that select a date field has been added into the form. So this is one of the benefits of using a form to collect payment. You can really add whatever detail that you need to collect into your form. You can really customize it so that it meets whatever your business case is. So I could maybe ask in here, what's your level? Advanced, intermediate, beginner. I could if I'm doing like some sort of a exam preparation, I could ask like, what's your current TOEIC score, something like that. So things that are going to help me in the course of doing this course with a student. So I don't need that actually, so I'm going to delete that and update that. So now there's one more thing which I wanted to show you. Let me refresh that page. Now there's one more thing which I wanted to show you, which is the down here we've got a leave a testimonials. Okay, yeah, so just to talk about this page a little bit. So this is asking for satisfied customers, satisfied students to leave a testimonial. And this is something that I can then use on my social media and use it on the other pages of this site, on the other landing pages. I can add their testimonial in as additional proof to anyone who's considering signing up. So social proof is always very powerful. And if you can get testimonials from people who match your target demographic, that's even better. So my target is Japanese accountants. So ideally, I would like to get testimonials from Japanese accountants, finance people, business people at least. So that kind of like says to anyone thinking about booking with me that yes, the service I'm offering is for someone like you. So collecting testimonials can be very powerful. I'm saying here, can I ask for a favor? I hope you have enjoyed taking lessons with me, it would really help me if you could leave a testimonial that I can show to new students on my webpage and social media. So to show my appreciation, every month I will choose one of the people who submit a testimonial and send them a free gift. It might be you. So that's up to you if you want to do that. I mean, it could be something as simple as like a $10 Amazon gift voucher. Maybe you want to offer them like a free lesson, perhaps, maybe a study resource. I don't know. So if you want to add something in to sweeten the pot a little bit and encourage people to leave a testimonial, that might be a good idea. And so in the form here, I'm saying I'm asking for a name because you really should get a name with every testimonial. So asking for an email, which I've said this will not be shown publicly, so we don't want to show people's emails on our web pages. That would be like a breach of privacy, I think. But in case I need to contact you, and then I'm asking here, how would you rate my lessons? So I'm trying to hopefully I'll get 5-star ratings from my ex-students, and yeah, so maybe just a little bit of information about whether I was doing kids lessons or adult lessons. You might want to change that. You know, maybe you're offering like different types of exam preparation lessons or different types of business lessons, whatever. You can edit these in the forms on the back end. Why don't we take a look at that? So yeah, here it says upload a testimonial. If I click on here, you can see this is exactly how it appears. So what kind of lessons? So kids lessons, adult lessons. So I'm not doing kids lessons, so let me get rid of that. Let me add in another option. Actually, let's change this. So beginner lessons. Intermediate lessons. Advanced lessons. So I'm not gonna choose the default. So it is required. Let's update that. Form updated. Let's come back here. Let's refresh the page. Yeah. So these were the kinds of lessons, and so this is some additional information, which is, you know, it could be a good thing also to show with your testimonial. If you can ask someone to supply their occupation, their age, where they live, you know, just little details like that, just make the testimonial seem a bit more authentic, which is what we've done over here with the defaults, and asking for them to put in a message about my lessons. So this is the message that we're going to show in the testimonial. And there's an option for them to upload a photo. So it's always good to get a photo with someone's testimonial, although I don't have those as yet. So yeah, so there's an option for them here. They can choose a file off their computer and upload it. And there's a checkbox here, which they have to check to say that they consent to me using their information to promote my services. So why don't we, yes. So what I would do is I'd go through and edit these testimonials as well. But I won't go through that now. I think we've already seen how to do that. And so yeah, I think that's about it. Well, one more thing. Yes, what I'll do is I'll just what I might do is just shut that and log out. Okay. Yeah, so one more thing which I wanted to mention is you'll notice here when I'm logged out, when I'm looking at this page as a visitor, as a logged out visitor, I have a language switcher menu option in the top right hand corner here. So this switcher is using Google Translate, so it relies on the Google AI translation service, the free one. So yes, we all know it's not a perfect translation. I think everyone accepts that. However, it's probably better than nothing for a lot of people. And I think that if you're targeting a truly like global audience, if you're not targeting any specific country, then that's a viable way of making your page content at least accessible to a wide range of language speakers. Now, in my case here, so I'm targeting people in Japanese. So in time, I would probably want to translate at least some of this text. Okay, like for example, maybe English for Japanese accountants. I might get that translated into Japanese. Maybe the headlines here, do you need English for accounting? Maybe I'd get that translated into Japanese. Just like the key text. And I probably wouldn't need this this Google Translate widget up here. So if that's the case for you, if you'd rather not have this Translate widget on your site, then all you need to do is contact me, reach out to me, and we can disable that on your site. So just submit a support ticket through the that I need help chat bot on the BabelTEQ site, and I can disable that on your pages. Yeah, the other thing too is if you're targeting China, like if China is your target market, there's a couple of things that we need to just tweak on the back end to make sure that your site doesn't get caught in the Great Firewall. So the Great Firewall of China is like a filter that blocks certain things, and it can cause problems for people who are trying to use your site within China. So those things I mentioned are like Google fonts, for example. So Google is banned in China, so any Google-related products can be problematic. Google Fonts is one of them, so we have to make sure that the Google Fonts are disabled, which means that you've got a limited range of fonts, but it'll still work, but maybe not look as pretty as you'd like it to. Another thing that we need to do is the video. So YouTube is banned in China, so rather than use a YouTube embed, as I've done here, what you would need to do is upload your own video, and we would host that on the server. So it's not served via YouTube; it's served internally, and you may need a hand with that because we need to get your video converted into two different web formats. There's, I think, MP4 is one, and then there's a WebM format. And the reason is that some browsers prefer the MP4 version, and some browsers prefer the WebM version, which is a hassle, but that's the internet. So what you'd need to do in that case, if you want to put a video on your site which is accessible in China, is reach out to me, and we can organize a way to convert whatever video you have into those two formats and get those added to your site. So that's about it. In these 3 videos, so I've walked through how to get your site set up, how to set up a complete sales funnel, the email marketing squeeze page, the lesson booking page, and booking calendar, booking payment page, and then course sales page, how to sell a block of lessons. And these 3 things should work together to really create a successful sales funnel for you that supports your business model. So thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please reach out and let me know. Thank you.